Welcome to AZPM News Daily, a wrap-up of all the day's news from Arizona Public Media. I'm Steve Jess, and on our Thursday edition, the U of A punishes a fraternity for hazing.
Allegations included students being burned by hot liquids like melted butter.
Immigrant advocates deal with an arrest outside a courthouse.
This woman has been in the United States for many years.
And Tucson Unified fights to keep kids from skipping school.
We have to do a better job really informing and empowering our parents.
That's ahead for this Thursday, July 30th. First up today, the University of Arizona will no longer recognize one of its fraternities following a string of incidents that prompted a hazing investigation. L.M. Boyd has more on what this means for Greek life at the U of A.
In a letter sent Wednesday, the university wrote that allegations included students being burned by hot liquids like melted butter and forced to consume alcohol, resulting in hospitalizations. The Dean of Students' Office received reports in April that new members of Sigma Alpha Mu were subjected to hazing. A video provided to the office included 21 individual clips of different hazing incidents, according to the letter. The fraternity has lost its university recognition for 5 years, which means no university-sponsored events or using university facilities, equipment, or services. L.M. Boyd, AZPM News.
Immigrant advocates are still piecing together the details after federal agents detained a longtime Tucson resident outside a courthouse this week. Angela Gervasi reports.
ICE arrests in and near courthouses in certain cities have been a hallmark tactic of the Trump administration. But Luis Campos, a local immigration attorney, says Tuesday's arrest was the first he'd ever heard about in Tucson. Campos is not representing the detained woman, but is advising her family. He says her children are devastated.
This woman has been in the United States for many years. And when I say many years, I'm speaking of decades, and has built a life in the United States.
In past years, immigration agents generally avoided conducting operations near courthouses, schools, and other designated sensitive areas. But in the first days of the current Trump administration, the Department of Homeland Security revoked those protections. Angela Gervasi, AZPM News.
On Wednesday, a Maricopa County judge blocked a ballot referral from the Arizona legislature that targeted voucher reform campaigns. The next day, Republicans filed an appeal to get the measure back on the November ballot. Noor Hagigi has more.
The Republican-backed referral, marketed as a protection for military families using empowerment scholarship accounts, has been shut down by Judge Joseph Creamer. The measure would have barred the state from confiscating leftover voucher funds from those families, but it also would have canceled out reform initiatives like the Protect Education Act. That violates Arizona's separate amendment rule because it addresses more than one legal action, Creamer ruled. This comes as the Protect Education Act moves ahead to the November ballot as Proposition 212. It seeks to confiscate rollover voucher funds from ESA recipients and redirect them toward the public school system. Noor Hagigi, AZPM News.
KJZZ Radio reports Republicans are appealing Creamer's decision, claiming the entire measure deals with school funding, so it falls within the limits of the separate amendment rule. Some drivers have disabilities that hamper their ability to communicate. Now the Arizona Department of Transportation lets them add a note about their disability to their vehicle or license records. During traffic stops or incidents, first responders will be able to look up those records and see what the driver or passengers may need to better communicate with them during stressful situations. ADOT says this indicator is completely voluntary and confidential. Only law enforcement can see it. The feature is available through the MVD online portal or in person at one of their locations. No charges will be filed against the parents of an Arizona toddler who was declared dead after being found in a family pool but was breathing hours later at a hospital morgue. Police in Gilbert had recommended negligence charges, but Maricopa County Prosecutor Rachel Mitchell says multiple child-proof locks and safety measures were in place. In February, first responders were dispatched to the home in response to a possible drowning. The boy was pronounced dead about an hour later, but he was later found to be breathing and survived. Mercy Gilbert Medical Center called it a heartbreaking situation. The Tucson Unified School District plans to tackle chronic absenteeism in the coming school year. Currently, 44% of students are chronically absent, meaning they miss 10% or more of the school year. That's about 18 days of class. Superintendent Gabriel Trujillo says 61% of absences in grades 1 through 8 are excused by parents.
We have to do a better job really informing and empowering our parents and informing them just how important it is to have kids in school.
Tucson Unified will have community liaisons in 37 schools who will interact with parents and do home visits to figure out why those students are not making it to school. Longtime Tempe mayor, state lawmaker, and Congressman Harry Mitchell has died. Mitchell served as Tempe's mayor for 16 years. The Democrat later served in the state Senate before being elected to 2 terms in Congress in 2006 and 2008. As Tempe mayor, Mitchell helped spearhead the effort to develop Tempe Town Lake. Harry Mitchell was 86. Flags at state buildings across Arizona will be lowered to half-staff Saturday in honor of former Arizona State Senate President Carl Kunasik. Kunasik died July 20th at age 94. A former pharmacy owner in Mesa, Kunasik served in the State House of Representatives from 1972 to 82, then spent 6 years in the state Senate, including 2 as Senate President. Kunasik was credited as a co-founder of Arizona's Medicaid program. As Senate President, he oversaw the impeachment of Republican Governor Evan Mecham in 1988. Kunasik's daughter, Karen Taylor Robeson, launched an unsuccessful bid for governor this year, dropping out of the race in February. Scientists say helping endangered species thrive is key to maintaining fragile ecosystems. Tony Perkins reports how efforts to save the Mexican gray wolf are beneficial to many species of animals and plants.
Michael Robinson with the Center for Biological Diversity explains why a sighting of any member of the Mexican gray wolf population is significant.
They're part of the balance of nature, very important part of the balance of nature in all kinds of respects that keep other animals helping to make them thrive as well.
Scientists note the wolves are keystone predators in the region. Their mere presence keeps prey like elk and deer moving and makes sure they do not overconsume plants in one area. But ranchers insist Mexican gray wolves are a threat to livestock and have successfully appealed for severely limiting the animal's population across the Southwest. I'm Tony Perkins, AZPM News.
You can hear more on Arizona science, which you can find online on our website, azpm.org. And now you're caught up on the stories we covered today at Arizona Public Media. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to AZPM News Daily wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Steve Jess, and we'll be back tomorrow.